There is currently a massive protest in Enugu, Nigeria. The protesters are seen carrying placards and walking to an undisclosed location. Meanwhile, yesterday the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has suspended its planned June 12 nationwide protest. The president of the association, Mr. Sunday Asefan, announced the suspension in a statement made available to newsmen on Friday in Abuja. The statement titled, "NANS suspends June 12 protest over concerns about safety of protesters and fear of possible hijack by politicians," was aimed to forestall peace in the country. According to the Asefan, the planned protest was aimed at decrying the insecurity in the country, especially the serial abductions of students. Asefan, however, said some politicians with different agenda have perfected plans to hijack the protest to ventilate their political opinions and sentiments. He said, "The students' body was not associated with the secessionist campaign. Having considered the current security realities and the danger to the lives of our members in case of possible hijack of the planned protest, I, in consultation with all the structures of NANS, therefore, announced the suspension of our proposed protest for June 12. The suspension of the protest is necessary to avoid a clash of interest and clash with security agencies that are on red alert to protect the nation's infrastructures from security breaches. On the proposed date as a result of many other protests slated for the date, we intend to protest for better security and improved welfare for our students. We must therefore not put the life of any of our students at risk to ventilate our grievances," he said. Asefan added that the protest was not cancelled but postponed as a new date would be announced for the demonstration later. Nigerians has reacted badly to the interview President Buhari granted to the Arise TV. Following President Muhammadu Buhari's interview with Arise TV, Nigerian Twitter came to the conclusion that he is aware of what goes on in the country. Some critics are of the belief that the president is unaware of the country's situation, stating that there are cabals giving orders while the president lays back. But the president's response to questions asked during the Thursday interview has convinced Nigerians on Twitter that the president is fully aware of the challenges facing the country. But many who commented on Thursday morning said the president didn't just care. One such instance Nigerians on Twitter mentioned was when the interviewee asked Buhari about the suspension of Twitter in the country. He laughed it off and said he doesn't want to talk about it. This, however, confirmed a report by American news publication Daily Beast that it was Buhari who ordered the suspension of Twitter in the country because he was angry that Facebook also joined the latter to take down his controversial post on insecurity. The American news publication said, "Anger is the word used by those close to the president in describing how he felt on Friday when his aides informed him that Facebook had followed Twitter by deleting a post he made on both platforms." Aside from this, the president was also asked about the October and SARS protests, and his response was that the protests were aimed at ousting him from office. Other responses of the president to the questions asked made Nigerian Twitter users reach the conclusion that the president is aware but he just didn't care. Let's take a look at the interview.
When we came, it has been a very difficult undertaking. But we closed the borders with Benin Republic, we closed the borders with Niger Republic, we stopped smuggling, we asked Nigerians to grow what they will eat and eat what they grow. The cost of importation of rice and other food stuff, we stopped it. We made fertilizer available, and we were very impressed and happy with the reaction of Nigerians. They went back to the farm. And we made sure our neighbor, especially Nigeria, understand us, because there are Nigerians that order food in Niger for Nigerian market. The Nigerian government cooperated with us. So really, we defended on ourselves, and Nigerians do not regret it. Corruption It's very difficult under this system. Even under the military system, luckily I have experienced both occasions. When I collected people, put them in Kiriki or somewhere and said they are guilty until they can prove themselves innocent, and put investigation panels based almost on the geopolitical zone for people that held positions, governors, ministers, commissioners, heads of parastatals, because then people don't get that position until they declare their assets. Then they are faced with the bank statements and their assets. If they cannot explain, the balance is taken away from them. But what happened? Eventually, I myself was arrested, detained, and they were given back what they have looted. So that's why I wear Agbada and join and see what this partisan politics is all about. I will not change, but the system here, those who have the money, they can take sons, first-class lawyers. Cases will take 10 years. And doing things with immediate effect was not possible. But I assure you that in spite of the problem we are having with the system, whoever we have correct intelligence that he's not being very accountable, we ease him out. We don't give it too much publicity. But I assure you that those who are responsible, who are holding responsible positions, know that we don't tolerate corruption.
Shekau is reported dead. Does that give an opportunity for us to zero in and consolidate and secure the Northeast?
The problem of the Northeast was very difficult. The governor, the present governor, is working very hard. He's taking a lot of risk. And I asked him, this Boko Haram, is it our people, that means, is it Nigerians or people coming out? He said, they are Nigerians, most of them. They are Nigerians. As I said, the only way we got them around was that you can't kill innocent people and said God is great. That worked very well, but I think we have a problem of unemployment. We have a problem of a lot of youth looking basically for what to eat, not even to talk of accommodation or dress. The level of poverty is almost unimaginable. So this is a problem. But those who are really keeping in touch with what we are doing, they know the difference between the time we came in and now.
So how can we reduce the powers of governors and give more powers to local governments? By writing a new constitution.
I use the powers of the president too.
While we're at it.
The president has a lot of power. Okay, I think this question of accountability is very important. The schooling, especially education, is suffering so much. If, for example, during our generation, I spent 9 years in boarding school, and the teachers then treat us as they treat their own children. If you do well, you are brought before the classroom and praised. If you misbehave, they remove your thing and plug you there in front of the class. So you just have to behave yourself. But now, one of the chaps from Ogun State, Pastor Bakari, He told me when he came back from America, he went to his alma mater, and he couldn't differentiate between the teachers and the children there. You see, the teachers used to take students as their children, and they have all the time for them. But problem, the standard virtually has collapsed. That means we have a lot of problem.
Wow.
Which takes us to the next question. In the northern part of the country, many schools have been subjects of attacks. Now, if these schools are perpetually being attacked by bandits and terrorists, and you want to lift 100 million out of poverty, and their parents are also under threat, how do you think that goal of 100 million people out of poverty can be achieved?
Well, try and appreciate what efforts the federal government has done. One, we have removed all the service chiefs and the inspector general of police. We made new ones. We allow them to go around and see the problem. They have been part of it all the time, but now they are in charge. And we made sure that their priorities is to make sure they have brought normalcy, people to accept the responsibility of their offices and perform. They are working very hard on that. We cannot give it enough publicity because we don't want to give fair warning to the real criminals. The ones from northeast, you know, the ones in south, you know, the problem is northwest. The same people, same culture, killing each other, stealing each other's cattle, burning their villages. As I said, we are going to treat them in the language they will understand. We have given the police and the military power to be ruthless. And you watch it, in a few weeks' time there will be difference. Because we told them that if we keep people away from their farms, we are going to starve. And the government cannot control the public. If you allow hunger, you know, to permeate the whole society, the government will be in trouble, and we don't want to be in trouble. We are already in enough trouble. So we want them, and sooner than later you will see the difference.
What can you do to make Nigeria a more competitive and more attractive destination for foreign direct investment?
Well, this question was answered when there was this answers. You remember the young people who wanted to march here and remove me when they were checked that answers. And my answer to that, I got the members of the Executive Council. As you could recall, by the Constitution, there must be a member of Executive Council from each state. That is the Constitution. Every state must be represented. So I got them on a Wednesday, a day like this. I said they should go, each one should go to his state, speak to the governor, speak to the traditional leaders, speak to the business people, and speak to the youth, especially, and tell them that the federal government, no more vacancy, is full. Go to any state governor and ask him now to give you a contract or to give you a job. He will tell you there is no vacancy. The same thing with local government. So you may have a good degree, but you may die without having a job. Why? Because nobody is going to invest in an insecure environment. So I told them, I said they should tell the youth that if they want jobs, they will behave themselves, make sure Nigeria is secure so that people can come and invest. Nigeria is resourceful, people know it. We are a rich country. God has endowed us. But nobody can bring, look at the today, like 200 buses bought by the former governor of Lagos. Some of these boys went and banned the vehicle. The governor made an album, came and I took the album and put it aside. I said, go and tell them to walk. Who will go and invest his money in an unstable environment? Nobody will. It's just common sense. So you behave yourself, you make Nigeria secure, and people will invest.
After 2023, what do you plan to do? Your presidential library, what projects will interest you in retirement?
Thank you very much for thinking that I'm okay. I have never abandoned my farm. I still have got a number of cattle. And when I leave, I will be going to my farm daily. I will try and keep myself busy. Between now and then, I will try to keep on convincing Nigerians that I mean very well. I will make sure that the three identifiable problems we have, security, economy, and fighting crime, I will continue to work on it. And as I said, visibly, we made progress in the Northeast, we made progress in the South, but I'm overwhelmed almost by Northwest, and they are going to get it very soon.
Well, Mr. President, what will be the Buhari legacy?
Well, I will allow Nigerians to discuss it. I hope they will be fair to me. I wouldn't like to say it myself. I would like Nigerians to try and spend time when we came, both economy and security, where we were, where we have been for the 8 years and maybe around, and try to work out. I hope Nigeria will be fair to me. This is all I need.
All Nigerians may be having fears. What's your message to the people of Nigeria today on your 6th anniversary, on where we are and over the last few days? Last question.
Yes, under the system, Nigerians would say what they want. They want to their own republics. They don't even talk of the resources, how we can disengage ourselves, how we are going to share what we have invested when we are together. How are we going to share it out? How fair are we going to be to ourselves? And try and see our population, our young population. If we cut ourselves into pieces, can we win the confidence of investors, real investors, people to come and build factories, employ people, produce goods and services, and then earn from taxation, from employment? I don't like the way Nigerian elite is allowing ignorant or careless people talking all over the place. We have so much to learn and so much to guide together than to try and disorganize people's way of thinking that if you become a republic, things will be all right. Let them see how long it took us between 1960 and now, how we came about. We have consolidated it.
Mr. President, thank you so much for your time.